Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily. Today we're talking about my Facebook workshop that I did 2 days ago, where we talked about embracing our authentic self and more specifically, toxic shame and how toxic shame can hold us back from moving towards and reaching our full potential. Shame isn't a sexy subject, guys. Let's just say it. It's not. In fact, in the beginning, whenever I started learning about the shame wound and somebody mentioned that, I was in this group of people and the person was talking about shame, I was like, I scoffed. I was like, no way. Guess what? That's a sign I probably had a toxic shame wound. And the more and more that they talked about it, the more and more I was like, oh my gosh, shoot, crap. So if you don't know me, my name's Emily. I am a transformational life coach, inspirational speaker. I help people dig through their past emotional and energetic blocks so that they can move forward into purpose, passion, and joy. And let's talk about shame. Not that anyone wants to talk about it. Now, there's toxic shame and there's healthy shame. So toxic shame is an inherent feeling of unworthiness and an inherent feeling that I'm just a bad person. Whereas when we have a healthy shame situation take place, we're able to disconnect from that. We're able to go, oh, I did something bad, or I did something wrong, or I did something that I'm not proud of. How can I reflect on this and do better next time? Is there anything I can do to fix it? If so, we take action on that. And then we kind of let it go. We move forward. Now, when we have something that gets stuck shame-wise, we tend to, again, go back to this belief that we are a bad person. Our sense of self is at like 0. It's like chronic unworthiness. It's a chronic feeling of not feeling good enough, of not feeling worthy. You may not accept yourself. You may self-sabotage. Perfectionism can be a sign, and procrastination can be a sign. And a lot of times that procrastination comes from a place of, I don't want to do this because I'm afraid to fail. Now, where does this come from? It can come from hypercritical, well-meaning people in our childhood. And it can also come from childhood abuse. It can come from neglect. There's a lot of different places it can come from. We get this feeling that we are not good enough. And if we hear that over and over again, especially as a child, our brains are so impressionable that we say, well, I keep hearing this, so it must be true. And then we pick up that story about ourselves, like, I'm just bad. I'm bad. I'm unworthy. Other signs could be worrying what others think, like to the point where you just don't do something because you're so worried that people are going to judge you that you can't handle the judgment. You might be afraid to look stupid, so you don't do something. You may have constant negative self-talk. You're constantly talking crap on yourself. Like, I'm so stupid. I hate myself. I'm so this, I'm so that. You might have physiological symptoms like anxiety and depression, issues with sleep. You may eat too much or too little. You could struggle with addiction and even even codependency. I was codependent. But the thing is, the worst part about toxic shame is that it's a joy killer. It affects how you treat yourself, and it keeps you looking for validation outside of yourself because you've heard so much from the outside and have taken it internally that you're not good enough, that you just want someone out there to tell you that you are. So let me tell you guys a story that I remember where I got some toxic shame from. This isn't the only place. When I was a kid, I was the youngest of 4, and I loved singing and dancing. And I can remember how much joy it brought me. I can't even remember how good it felt. I was so passionate about it. But as I started to get older and older, I would hear things like, I was an attention hog. Or I started to hear that so-and-so is so much better than you at that. And I started to hear that over and over from family and outside. So, it can come from anywhere. And I don't think anybody was intentionally trying to make me feel bad. But I picked up this story that I wasn't good enough. And I stopped doing what gave me passion. I stopped singing. I stopped dancing. And when I would think about doing it, I would get really anxious and nervous about it because I didn't want to have that feeling again. So I would stop myself. If I had the urge to like be joyful and have fun and do singing or dancing, I would stop myself for so long. And it killed my joy. And then it seeped into other areas of my life. If I felt that I was going to be judged, I'm messing with my hair, sorry, I would stop doing the thing. And if I got attention in any way, like if I'm right now, I'm building a coaching business. Previously, not at this point, but previously I would stop if I started getting the tiny bit of feedback because I knew that with good feedback, eventually the bad would come and I couldn't handle that. Now that I've worked on my shame wound, it doesn't really bother me anymore. Yeah, there are times whenever people make comments that hurt my feelings, and that's okay. I just allow myself to embrace that feeling and let it go. So what are some things that you can do to help you with a shame wound if you want to work on your shame wound? EFT tapping is great. I have some videos. I have a playlist, and there's actually one on shame. You can start there if you're interested in doing EFT tapping, which is basically tapping on specific meridian points of the body. It sends signals to your brain that you're safe as you say different statements surrounding the emotion or experience that you're trying to tap on. You can do inner child meditations. I believe I have those on here as well. I don't know if I have one specific to shame. Doing one about being unlovable is great. Really look into your belief system. Do you experience unworthiness? Do you feel that you are not worthy? If so, flip that belief. One of the things that I tell my clients is start with what if going straight to I am worthy feels uncomfortable. You can change it into a what if affirmation. What if I am worthy? That leaves it open to a possibility and doesn't make you experience as much discomfort. You can use these affirmations in mirror work. Now, the first thing I want you to do if you try mirror work, a lot of people have trouble looking at themselves in the eyes when they look in the mirror. I want you to look at your face without judgment, just with curiosity. Don't start naming all of the imperfections. If you find yourself doing that, just think stop. Just say, you know what? I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to look at myself with curiosity at this moment. The first thing I want you to say to yourself while looking in your own eyes is, I totally and completely accept you at this moment. I love you. I'm so proud of you. As you do that, and again, this is just looking into the mirror, saying affirmations to yourself that indicate you are worthy. So after you say, I totally, completely, and love and accept you, maybe you add in, I am worthy. I see your worth. I see your value. You have to change that negative self-talk, and it takes time because you have been doing the same thing for so long. So what you're doing when you're changing your self-talk is you're creating a new habit of more positive self-talk. So it may feel weird, it may feel uncomfortable, it may feel like you're lying to yourself. You can also, like I said, add the what if in there, and it will kind of soften it a little bit. These are some suggestions that you can do. Now, working on the shame wound, you're going to feel so much lighter, so much more lovable, so much more loving, like you're going to love yourself. If you need help, please reach out. You can schedule with me. We can have a conversation or a talk about it. One of the things that I do in my coaching is I work with people one-on-one, help them to cultivate self-love, self-acceptance, and then learn the practice of manifestation. So I hope you have a great rest of the day. I hope this video helped you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.